Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where we're still on the trail of the Kuttenberg slasher. Nobody actually calls them that. The serial killer who's been murdering young women in Kuttenberg. And we have some good news. One of the victims isn't actually dead. Stanya, one of the serving girls from the hole-in-the-wall inn in Kuttenberg, isn't actually dead and is hiding out in a village outside of Kuttenberg with a friend. And she had some useful information about the possible identity of the killer, or possibly killers, because she was attacked by two people. Or at least attacked by one, but overheard that one talking with somebody else right before he jumped her. And because she had a fraction of a second's warning before she was attacked when he grabbed onto her, she managed to break free by striking him in the face with the empty pitcher of wine that she'd been carrying. And in surprise, he shouted out in German as he let her go and she ran off. Now, in my experience, people whose mother tongue is not the local language, regardless of how well they speak the local language, they do tend to react in their native tongue when you take them by surprise. I know this because I have experience. The young Portuguese lady that I live with does not shout, "Oh my goodness, how you scared me," when I scare her. She shouts, "Vai fuder, caralho!" I know of what I speak here. And now my initial suspect, because he did have a strong connection to pretty much all of the murder victims, was the bard William. But William is a Czech, so he's highly unlikely to be cursing in German if you catch him by surprise. There is, however, another young man from Kuttenberg who has a strong connection to almost all of the victims, and he goes by the name of von Groller, and he belongs to a German family, as you can probably guess from the name.
Quick!
I'm really starting to like the sound of this guy for the killer. Stanya was not the only victim whose body was never actually found. There was another, Zdena, a thief from the hole in the wall, who was sizing up the young von Groller as a potential mark before she disappeared. I'm hoping that she's in hiding too.
Greetings. What do you want?
Are you Pine?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for Zdena.
I don't know any Zdena.
Sternad said something different.
You're a friend of Sternad's, are you?
Fuck no, he's a twat.
God forbid. That's all I need. A friend like that bastard. But he was the only one who really knew Zdena.
You're right there. Zdena was always cursing him. He was as lazy as a pig, but always wanted his share.
So you knew Zdena? Can you tell me anything about her?
I know Zdena all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for a... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere. And you're the last person to see her before she went missing.
Kurva.
What can you tell me about Zdena?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of herself.
And what about Sternad? How does he fit into this?
Sternad was her guardian angel, as she used to say. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with him as long as she did.
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'd be able to go wherever she wanted, to Prague or Vienna.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables. Is that true?
Oh, aye. She had a good haul, no rubbish. Mostly jewelry, rings, one signet ring with a coat of arms and everything. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her, otherwise she couldn't have carried it all.
And what about that signet ring? Do you still have it?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it'd bring her luck someday.
Didn't have a von Groller family coat of arms on it, did it?
Do you know what kind of luck she meant? Did you recognize the signet on the ring?
No, I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Zdena was giggling to herself. I reckon she had her eye on another mark.
Where did she go next from here? You said she had a lot of coin on her.
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following her, Someone on a horse.
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what he looked like?
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed by her and...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Zdena thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods, so nobody could follow her. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains, the water can rise fast. The road goes on to Kuttenberg.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, they could have waited for her at the ford, no?
Fuck! That's quite possible. I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day, so I forgot about it.
I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
Well, I'll go and check out that ford. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Take care.
Yeah. I was hoping that I would have found Zdena here. But it sounds like she was heading back to Kuttenberg and she never made it, which does not bode well. She looked like Stanya for a second. I think at this point I'm looking for a body. I mean, I hope not. And there's reason to think that I might still find her alive because, I mean, Zdena's a much more resourceful girl than Stanya. And Stanya managed to take care of herself, although she is living in fear for her life in hiding with a friend. But I'm not really feeling it. So he said over the stream, across the ford. She had a hideout up this way. I'm wondering if maybe I should wait until daytime. Because it is pitch. I mean, it's not even the middle of the night yet. And the torch only lets me see so far. So is this? Oh, it looks like a ford. It said turn right. And follow the track along the stream.
That has to be that ford Pike was talking about. I should take a look around here.
Indeed I should. Wish things were a bit brighter. You don't really want to be... Oh, hang on. There's something over there? A basket.
This must be that basket of silver Zdena was carrying with her. She wouldn't have just left that here. But where did it come from? Maybe it rolled down the hill?
Yeah. Also, what's this? Looks like... Wait, is that the red scarf? Because apparently she thought she was being followed and she had somebody else walk around wearing her red scarf. Before she took to the woods, there's more clothing lying here, to try to sneak her way back into Kuttenberg. And there's more here. I do not have a quick disclaimer for what you're about to see here. This is another one of those occasions where the game switches to third-person perspective, but every now and then just seems to forget that I am actually holding a source of illumination. So it rendered the following examination of the body in almost pitch darkness, which would have been completely unwatchable on YouTube. So I've had to heavily process this next session in my video editor, and it's still almost unwatchable, but you can at least get an idea of what's going on. So I do apologise for this, but it wasn't my fault.
Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh, she's been lying here a long time. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the others. Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her like the others. She's been lying here too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock, or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. They're torn up. but I don't see any cuts. The rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something.
Like a ring.
I can't make much out by now, but it seems as if the fingers on her right hand are broken. Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get something out of her hand?
Like a ring.
Oh, my God. Oh, something fell out of her. A signet ring. Oh, that must be the one she stole. But how did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or did the murderer shove it in there? Was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment for stealing? Well, that's enough. But what does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise, and that's about all I can find out. She's probably been lying here a few weeks, but that ring is a good lead.
It is. Gee, I wonder who it might have belonged to. You notice there, I had to actually redraw my torch in order to see what was going on here, and yet it's like when I went into the cutscene it put the torch away, hence the shitty illumination. Oh, hang on a minute, there's something here in this. Well, it's a stash of mostly, well, I mean, the food's all rotten. It's been sitting in this tree trunk for a couple of weeks, apparently. This must have been where she was heading for. This must have been her stash. She was heading here to resupply before she went into hiding. Or possibly back to Kuttenberg. Either way, she almost made it. But whoever was following her on horseback from Kuttenberg... And horses aren't cheap, by the way. Anybody who can afford a horse probably isn't working as a musician in the taverns of Kuttenberg, so another thing that kind of rules out William the Bard, and does point towards the son of a noble German family in Kuttenberg. But she almost made it, and whoever was following her on horseback ambushed her here, and that was the end of it. But that more or less concludes my investigation. I've looked into the circumstances of all of the, well, I'm not going to say dead girls, because one of them isn't dead, although I'm keeping that to myself. All of the victims. And now I need to go and report back to Lemire, the scribe, who was heading up the investigation until, well, he started throwing false accusations around and ended up disgracing himself and losing his job. I'm sure he'll be interested in what I have to say.
Me?
Who else would I be talking to?
What is it?
Show me your pockets.
Why?
Because I said so.
What have I done wrong?
We have to search anyone suspicious.
And why exactly am I suspicious?
Shut up and show me your pockets. Well, well. That's a nice ring you've got there. Is it yours?
Yes.
Not anymore, it isn't.
What?
If you don't want to end up behind bars for disobeying the king's orders, you shut up and move along.
Fucking bastard.
I heard that.
I love that that sort of thing happens in this game. I mean, it's not a random encounter. It's not something that's even aimed at me. It's just shit that happens in Kuttenberg. Well, not just restricted to Kuttenberg, but in the game. And whether you're paying attention to it or not, it's just going on around you. And if you're rushing around trying to get shit done, you'll miss this sort of thing. Sometimes it really, in this game at least, pays to just stop and take a look around you and notice what's going on.
Well then, does the poor thing still not know?
The poor thing? It's her fault for being so thick. A strange woman visits her old man every day, and she still hasn't twigged. And the way they talk to each other. Look at this nice bun I brought for you, she says. Doesn't it smell nice? I can't say no to that. And you just have to taste my sausage. It's ready and waiting for you. The two of them are having it off. Even a deaf-blind could tell.
Oh, we should tell her.
Why? Let her figure it out herself. I've got enough worries of my own.
And there it is again. Honestly, I love this game. You can probably tell. So anyway, yeah, I need to find Lemire. The last time I saw him, let's just say after being publicly disgraced and losing his job, he's fallen on hard times. he's turned to the bottle, because the last time I saw him, it was the middle of the day and he was throwing his guts up on a building wall in a side alley. I think it was down here. I mean, that's where he is now, according to the map. Yeah, this was it. Right here. Is that him? Yeah, that's him.
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. But wait a while. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her?
Yeah, I'll wait for Catherine.
So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly, but I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well,
Well? Who do you suspect now?
Well, I'd say William did it. The minstrel.
You can't be serious. He's innocent.
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
Well, he was the first one you accused.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
And most people are murdered by people they know.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her, and perhaps he was too strict.
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God wouldn't have to forgive.
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of. He wanted to find her a husband, too.
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started rebelling. Yarka started working for the von Groller family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Groller's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Well, that's funny, because I heard the mother said she was a whore.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that. But maybe she found someone there.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only name he mentioned.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William, or at least knew him.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her?
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive us.
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who the father is, we'll likely know who the killer is.
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances. Maybe William.
It's not impossible, no.
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him. I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he's back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake. and I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and nobody would bring it up again.
She's right.
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she was pregnant.
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
Look, it wasn't William.
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
I'm not saying it couldn't have been him. Though I don't think it was. It just seems foolish to only focus on him.
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I have some good news.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not one of our victims?
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran. Which is probably why she survived.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner.
Someone knew which way she was going home that night.
She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly, and somebody knew exactly which way she would take and where to wait for her.
You mean someone followed her beforehand to figure out where to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
Apparently everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide the fact. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip. Her neck was bruised for almost a month.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh?
So not a musician either.
According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Yeah, but if somebody surprised you, you wouldn't say Scheiße, you'd say Hovne, because you're not German, you're a Czech.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness. Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better, but nothing came of it.
And that's probably why I wanted to kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No. Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her?
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewellery on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena and nearly cursed her on the spot.
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Zdena tried to rob young von Grolle. It's possible she succeeded.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
Ah, that whole family is suspicious.
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body? That's odd, isn't it?
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she swallowed it herself or someone shoved it in her.
Ah, that's awful. But I can't say it surprises me.
My mouth is starting to hurt from all this blabbering.
So are my ears and head.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry, who do you think did it?
Well, it's the Von Grollers.
I suspect one of the Von Grolles.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Oh, fuck off about William.
Yarka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do you think she was rebelling because of someone in particular?
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor, and young Von Grolle fits both descriptions.
True, true.
We could be getting somewhere.
Yarka was pregnant, and if the father was young Von Grolle, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
Sakura, you're right.
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Zdena robbed Von Grolle,
That's true.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
and that's all I can pin on him.
So, do we agree that it was young Von Groll?
Well, old Von Grolle can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young Von Grolle?
Aye. I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys are capable of anything. But what are we gonna do about it? Our suspicions aren't enough.
They'll just laugh at us without something more tangible.
So, you want to search their house?
There's nothing else we can do. There must be a clever way to do it.
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture is enough. What will we do?
You could sneak in there.
Or break in?
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones or a swordsman, or break in? That's a lot of options.
You're a clever lad. You'll figure it out.
All of the evidence is pointing towards the Von Grollers. Except there's just one thing that doesn't add up. And it does kind of throw a bit of doubt on some of the other evidence that we've discovered this far. Because Stanya said that right before she was jumped, she overheard two people talking in a side alley. And the one who grabbed her was the one who exclaimed in German when she smashed the wine pitcher in his face. So the attacker was definitely, well, I say a German, could have been an Austrian. Somebody for whom German was their native language. But what about the other person they were talking to? Because Stanya didn't say that she overheard a conversation in German, just that the guy who grabbed her exclaimed in German when she smashed him in the face with a wine pitcher. So we know the guy that grabbed her was a German, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the other person that he was speaking to in the alley before he tried to kill her was also a German.
Greetings.
In fact, by the sound of it, probably not. So I could buy the idea that Von Grolle had hired a thug to get rid of Stanya for him, and that's who was having the conversation in the alley. But it could also have been William. Hell, it could have been Father Prokop for all I know. Or it could have been somebody else, as yet undiscovered. I still like the sound of the Von Grollers though. I mean, especially since Zdena was clearly killed for stealing from them, which is why she ended up in possession of their family signet. That does not necessarily mean that Zdena was killed by the same person that killed all of the others. So while I like the sound of the Von Grollers for this series of killings, I don't actually have any real proof. And while the evidence, and I'm hesitant to actually call it evidence at this point, but while the evidence that I have is certainly enough to convict and hang a peasant, because let's just say the standards of medieval justice were not particularly high, if I were to take what I actually have at the moment and then start throwing accusations around at a noble family, let's just say things probably wouldn't go too well for me, and I certainly wouldn't be getting any kind of conviction. So what I'm going to need is some actual physical evidence. So how about I just go and find some? Like Lumia said, there's a number of different ways I can do this. Old Von Groller is sick, and I have extensive medical knowledge, so I could pose as a physician in order to get in. Young Hendel Von Groller is apparently trying to learn swordsmanship, and I am an accomplished swordsman. I could pose as a teacher. Or I could just do it the old-fashioned way, wait until after midnight, break in, and just, help myself to anything that's valuable while looking for evidence. See if you can guess which option I am going to take. And join me in the next episode to find out whether or not your suspicions are correct. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.